And we are live. Thank you for joining the Clydesdale Media Presents Meet the Athletes of the Semifinals. Before I get to my guest, I need to thank my sponsors. RX Smart Gear provides world-class jump ropes, grips, and other gear for us all. Use the code Clydesdale15 for 15% off your order at rxsmartgear.com. Mobility Movement, MVMNT, is a program that teaches you how to increase your capacity to heal, reduce recovery time, and restore your nervous system to peak health. Everyone gets a 7-day free trial. After that, our followers get an additional free month when they use the code Clydesdale free month at mobilitymvmnt.com. And finally, C4 Energy, delivering the most effective, best tasting, and highest quality products. Get 20% off when you use the code Clydesdale at checkout at c4energy.com. And I am so pleased to have my guest, Jack Farlow, one of the new young up-and-comers in the sport, who is going to be competing at the Atlas Games this weekend. Thanks, Jack.
Thanks for having me, Scott.
So what's it like having people like Brian Friend and Taylor Self point you out as one of the people to watch this weekend at the Atlas Games?
For me, it's nothing but positive. I think it's easy to kind of fall into that pressure and just have it negatively affect you. But I feel like I'm still in the stage of just kind of wanting to get my name out, wanting to be known. So definitely when I hear kind of any stir, negative or positive, really, it definitely only does positive in terms of helps me get into that next kind of mental state. I know my fitness is where it's at, but definitely going in with more confidence is only going to help me.
So for us that aren't as familiar with Canadian geography, how far are you from Montreal?
6 or 7 hour drive. So yeah, just the province kind of next door. So not too bad. I think we're going to do it in 2 days of driving. So just not to be sitting for so long, but pretty close.
So we're recording this live on Tuesday morning. Are you heading out tomorrow?
Tonight, actually. Yeah,
Tonight?
we're doing
Okay.
3 hours tonight and then the remaining 3 Wednesday.
And an athlete check-in's Thursday?
Thursday at noon.
Yeah, get all settled, all of that stuff. Are you going to get any fitness in this week? Just move around stuff?
Yeah, yesterday, pretty significant amount. Mostly just kind of plays on the workouts that we know. So not the full run through. We've already done a couple of those, but kind of just getting extra touches, feeling out the workouts. Today was significantly lighter than yesterday, just kind of like a longer EMOM again, just kind of touches on the movements. And then Wednesday, Thursday will be like very low key, especially Thursday, just kind of keep the body fresh and primed.
So you talked about doing some run throughs. Did you do a full mock-up weekend or just looked at the workouts individually?
We didn't have all the workouts in enough time to kind of spend a weekend doing a perfect mock. We did do 2 weekends of one was a few weeks ago when we basically knew nothing other than the 2 standardized workouts. So we did those 2 and then kind of just made up some whatever we thought could potentially show up. And then this last weekend, we actually did most of the workouts, all but one, now that we know all 6. And then that one we didn't do, we just did a kind of half run through of it, just cutting down the reps a little bit.
And you say we, who's your coach?
Yeah, his name is Josh Woolley, a Mammoth Training Method. So I've been with him since about last year's Open, so 1.5 years maybe. And yeah, he's been great. He helps me kind of work on the specific things I need to, which you can't really get just following a generalized program, and then also just day-to-day things when I'm feeling this or that, he can kind of change things around for me.
I like the play on words, the woolly mammoth.
Yeah.
Good
dude.
That was pretty clever there.
Yeah.
So you've been with him for over a year.
Yeah.
And you're really comfortable, and I'm assuming he's going to have the coach's pass?
Long story. He also coaches Emma Lawson. We train together.
Okay.
So I think he'll take hers, and my brother-in-law has kind of been my long time, once kind of coach, never program for me, but before I had anyone, he was always there for me, and he'll be kind of playing the bag boy / watch what's going on in other heats roll this weekend.
So that's cool. Because of that, you get a bonus pass.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Well, last year Atlas was online,
Hmm.
and this year it's live and in person. Not that you are a stranger to live competition on a big stage, but are you excited to get back to that in the open division?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like this is kind of my first good run with the big boys. I mean, Atlas last year, just to run your own race, do it at your own gym kind of thing. So I feel like I've never actually had an elite level other than in teenage divisions live competition. So this is kind of the first one in that regard. Super excited about that. And I also feel like last year at Atlas, I was just happy to make semifinals last year, honestly, and kind of just see where I am at. This year there's uh, bit more pressure, bit more expectation just that I put on myself. So it's a bit of a different ballgame.
Well, last year you finished 89th at quarterfinals. This year 15th.
Hmm.
That shows significant progress, and that just kind of what you're talking about. You were happy to make it last year. This year, you have a really good seed, so
Hmm.
you're coming in that last heat, correct?
Yeah, I think I'm going in third seed.
Yeah, and being in that last heat's super important if you want to take your shot at the games.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. For sure, it helps. Definitely no negative to it, especially with the fast dudes. Though, gotta make sure you just run your own race. I mean, keep them in the corner of your eye, but I think it's definitely going to be easy to kind of follow in the pace they set and fall off of it. So I know my pace. I just got to believe it's kind of the best one and follow that as much as I can.
Yeah, I think the part that people, and after watching the first 3 weeks of semifinals live, what people don't understand is being in that last heat, at the end, do you need to sprint or do you not, right?
Hmm.
And not necessarily, you can still run your own race, but like at the end, do I have to go all out, or can I conserve to save myself for the rest of the weekend?
Yeah, for sure. You just knowing that kind of time to beat when you go in is definitely a big deal. Um, yeah.
Yeah, I think that played a major role in the first 3 weeks that not a lot of people are talking about.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
because those who slipped out of that last heat, you don't know, so you have to go full gas to the end.
Yeah. Yeah. It's tough for sure. I think definitely starting first day in that last heat will be big. Um, I'm not really sure what workouts are better for me than others. Obviously, there are a few that I have my eyes on, but just got to stay there. I think after day one and day two, three will be more up my alley.
So you've seen all the workouts. Do you think it's programmed well?
Yeah, I have no complaints. I mean, even if I didn't, I don't think I would have complaints. I kind of went in with the mindset of just I think I've heard Josh Bridges talk about this in like the 2016 regionals. I think he said, "Whatever I see, I'm just going to make myself believe it's good for me," and that's kind of what I'm trying to do. Not think about what other people's strengths are, really even what my strengths are. I know I have a couple better workouts in there, but for the rest of them, kind of just run my own race and believe I've done what it takes.
Well, as they were being released, I was at Granite Games, and I was hearing from other athletes that were like, "Thank God I'm not going to Atlas."
Mm. Yeah, I've heard overprogram being thrown around. Um, I don't know. I feel like overprogrammed honestly is probably a good attribute for me. I'm kind of better at the heavier, higher skill kind of stuff. Um, so I'll take overprogrammed if that's the case.
Yeah. All right. So growing up, you played all kinds of sports,
Hmm.
but you really fell in love with hockey.
Yeah.
So how many years did you play hockey before you found CrossFit?
Oh, probably got on skates when I was 2 or 3 and played up until I was maybe 16. Kind of there was like a transition there from starting CrossFit almost to just help my hockey. And then very, very quickly it turned into kind of just I play hockey, but I really love CrossFit for the competitive sake of that. And so kind of transitioned out of CrossFit. I was playing at a pretty high level, and then just like went down a year or two to play with like some friends. But that was just like once a week at that point, so I could really kind of focus more on training. But definitely hockey was the original like want to play in the NHL kind of dream. But you soon realize that might not be possible.
So what position did you play?
I played center for the last maybe 6 years. I was a defenseman before that, but moved up.
And then if the dream would have come true, what team did you want to play for in the NHL?
Big Maple Leafs fan. My dad
Oh,
would say
that's
you
too
wouldn't want
bad.
to play for them, though. Yeah, not definitely get it rough as a Leafs player, but um, I'd have to go with the hometown team. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I'm a Pittsburgh Penguins guy. I
it's a
grew up
good
outside
team.
of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, nice.
So yeah, and I'm a huge hockey fan.
Hmm.
Do you still watch the sport? You still follow?
Yeah, regular season I'll follow. Um, don't really have much time to watch the game for 3 hours, like a couple times a night, but definitely follow along, like just with the record where they're in the standings. Playoffs, I do try to watch as much as I can, although this year I just watched the first two periods for all but game seven. Game 7, I stayed up the extra hour to watch the full thing, and it didn't end well, so it wasn't worth it, but yeah, I do follow.
Yeah, my problem is the Penguins like to go to like triple overtime,
Right.
and then I get like 3 hours sleep before work the
Yeah.
next day.
Yeah. And it's not ideal.
Not ideal at all. Um, so then you found CrossFit, and at first it was just as like an accessory to hockey, but then you
Hmm.
fell in love. What was the
Yeah.
point that you fell in love with CrossFit?
Yeah, I feel like I've kind of been doing CrossFit. I was exposed to CrossFit for probably since I was like 11 or 12. I did my first kids class. But that was more, I have like a bunch of older siblings. They kind of got my dad to get me into the like local kids class once or twice a week. And that was like even just for like 5 months at a time. And then I wouldn't do it for the whole summer. Like I had no attachment to it whatsoever. And then actually my brother-in-law and sister, the brother-in-law who I said kind of fills in as coach, they owned a gym in Seattle. They moved back home or back to the like where I live a couple of years ago. And I was spending a bit of the summer with them, and that was the first year that the teenage competition was a thing at the games. And I remember watching that and just thinking like, oh, like there's a reason to actually get out in the gym. And that was kind of the shifting point from just going to a kids class a couple times a week to like really wanting to be good at CrossFit. So that would be the point that kind of had my eyes set on actually being good.
What's the move that when you complete it, you feel like, dang, I'm good?
Specific movement
Yeah,
in the
just
gym.
one movement.
I'd have to say clean and jerk. That's as far as the lift goes, right up my alley. So can usually throw a big weight around in that.
Yeah, my favorite is when I catch a snatch and
Mm,
I'm in the squat and I know I've caught it,
yeah.
like because of my squat ability, I know I've got it at that point,
Hmm.
and it just
Yeah.
makes me feel amazing.
Hmm.
Now, catching the snatch is like a whole nother story, but when I do, it feels amazing.
Yeah, I would agree. That happens less frequently than I would like for me on the snatch. Yeah.
You and me both.
Yeah.
So, we're going into this weekend. Well, I'm gonna backtrack a bit. Training with Emma.
Hmm.
That seems to be kind of the new thing, right? Training camps and even more specifically, male and female training partners,
Hmm.
where you don't have to be competitive with each other, but you still get that push.
Yeah.
How important has that been for your development this year?
Yeah. That's been huge. Even aside from the fact that you're training like with her, like getting that push, even just watching like how much she puts into it day to day. It just kind of gets you fired up, gets you inspired to do the same. Like one time she misread a workout and missed like a 400-meter run at the end of it. And if that was me, I would have just been like, oh, that like stupid, but like whatever, next time. she realized when she was like 3 pieces later into the training session, and then just finished the workout with a 400-meter run to make up for it. So she's like, mentally, she's definitely someone to look up to, and then obviously just getting the push in the gym, that's big. I mean, it can also be a bit of a negative sometimes. She's amazing at like a lot of movements, but when I get beat by her, then I feel like I'm not good at them. In particular, handstand push-ups. I didn't think I was very good at them, and then that handstand push-up worker comes up in the quarterfinals, and I think she won it worldwide, and I was like 15th in North America. So I was like, oh, might be one of my better movements, and I had no idea. So definitely a positive. You just kind of can't get caught up in whether you're winning or losing too much.
So when this weekend comes up and you're both competing, are you rooting for her to make it as much as you want to make it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I think that's going to be a bit tough. Like, I'll want to follow along, but I think I kind of just got to stay in my own head as much as I can. And she'll probably do the same. And then when things are wrapped up, then we'll be able to kind of cheer for each other in that regard.
Yeah, it was funny. This weekend I got to watch Alex Kazan and Matt DeLugos,
Mm,
who are teammates at Underdogs,
yeah.
and they were trying to watch each other, but they
Hmm.
kept like headphones in, so they were kind of in their own zone, but still out there kind of watching.
Oh, that's smart. Yeah. Yeah. You definitely
Um,
can't get too wrapped up, but.
and they had a place there where it was safe for an athlete to come out and not get distracted by
Oh,
fans or whatever.
sure. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
but
don't know what Atlas will be like.
yeah, because Granite Games is a different it's so huge that
Hmm.
there's places you can do that, but, um, finally, the weekend's over. What do you want people to say about your performance? And not about placement or anything like that, but about you, the performance for the weekend. Jack Farlow is blank.
I think. I think more than a heavy lifter is what I'd want. I think I'm kind of known for being able to throw around some decently heavy weight, but definitely that I can handle the skill movements, the whatever you want to call the Atlas programming. Definitely that I can handle that kind of thing, and that more than just a guy who can throw some weight around.
Are you excited about the complex?
Oh, absolutely, that's my number one. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
I
even though
actually
you don't
really
wanna be
like.
known for it, you still know that's your jam.
Oh yeah. I hope that's just not the only highlight of the weekend. I suppose.
Gotcha.
Hmm.
So say Sunday rolls around and you've punched your ticket, how are you gonna
Hmm.
celebrate?
Oh, I think regardless of if the ticket's punched or not, definitely get some contraband food, I guess, from the last little bit. Some pizza, ice cream, maybe. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I think the same things will be done regardless of if I make it or not. It'll just be a totally different mindset as I do those things. So whether I'm
Yeah, if you
crying or
make it,
laughing,
maybe an extra
stuffing my face.
slice instead of
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, pizza and ice cream seem to be the most popular
Hmm.
thing to do at the end of a competition.
Yeah, it's hard to go wrong.
Well, this has been fun, Jack. Hopefully we can stay in touch.
Yeah,
Uh, if you have a moment this weekend and maybe we can hop on and talk about what's going on there because I
for sure.
can't be up there this year.
Mm.
But we some of the other athletes are going to jump on. We're going to try to get some
Yeah, sounds good.
action from the event.
All right.
But I don't want to mess up your training or your
All right.
competition. But if you have
Worst
time,
case scenario, I'll just turn it down, but feel free to shoot me a message.
awesome.
All
Well,
right.
we'll talk to you soon, Jack, and thank you so much for jumping on.
Sounds good. Thanks, Scott.